Hello students, welcome back. So today we will discuss about the next portion of the unit and dimensions. In the last class we will discuss some physical quantities and the type of the physical quantities. This is the type of the physical quantity we already discussed, and derived physical quantities, supplementary physical quantities, and the dimensions. The dimensions are, I already told you, the some 10 dimensions: mass, area, volume, density, velocity, acceleration, force, momentum, work, power and energy. So we have done all these contents in last class. So today's agenda is regarding to some important dimensions and the next term related to the units. Okay, let's start the session. I again turn off my video, and after that we will discuss all the contents from this notepad. Okay, so let's start the session. So we already know that the unit of the energy is a m1, l2 and t minus 2. Okay, now the next one is a 11th form. 11th is the, please note down the dimension of 11th: impulse. What is impulse? Impulse is force applied for a short period of time. So F into T, it means the unit is Newton into second, and the dimension is m1, l1, t minus 2. This is the dimension of force, and this is the dimension of time. So it's means the final dimension of impulse is m1, l1, t minus 1. This is the dimension of impulse. Now the next one, 12th one is the angular velocity. Angular velocity is denoted by the omega, and the formula of angular velocity is the perpendicular velocity with respect to the radius of any circular motion. So you know that the dimension of velocity is a meter per second. So length upon time, and the radius having a length as a dimension. Cancel out, then you got the m0, l0 and t minus 1. This is the dimension of the angular velocity. Now the next one is a angular acceleration. Acceleration is a change in angular velocity with respect to time. So we know that the angular velocity have a dimension m0, l0, t minus 1, and the time having a dimension of t. So the final result is m0, l0, t minus 2. This is the dimension of angular acceleration. Now the next and most important portion is torque. What is torque? Torque is force applied on the perpendicular direction of the distance. So the formula is Fd sin theta. You know that the force having a dimension m1, l1, t minus 2, and the distance having a dimension of L. So the final dimension of torque is m1, l2, t minus 2. This is the dimension of torque. Okay, have you got the point? Okay, I think this is a very easy thing. Now the next one. Next let's talk about the surface tension. 15th one, surface tension. Surface tension is the applied force on the perpendicular length. There is a film sheet which having the length L, and if you applied force on the perpendicular form, then you got the surface tension. The surface tension having a dimension m1, l0, t minus 2. This is the surface tension dimension. Now the 16th one is the electric charge. Electric charge is determined as a Q is equal to current into time. You know that unit of current is ampere and time having a T. So the dimension is AT, A1, T1. You can also written as a M0, L0, T1, A1. This is the dimension of the electric charge. Now the next one, 17 is related to the electric potential. 17 is related to the electric potential. Electric potential, the work done by the charge in a system. So the determined by the work done having a dimension m. What is the dimension of work done? M1 L2 T minus 2. Okay, this is the dimension of the work done, and charge having a dimension of 80. So the final dimension of electric potential is M1 L2 T minus 3 and A minus 1. This is the dimension of electric potential. Now the last and final, the 18th one. 18th one is a electrical resistance. Electrical resistance. What is the electrical resistance? Electrical resistance is determined as the R is equal to voltage upon current, electric potential upon electric current. So electric potential having a dimension M1 L2 T minus 3 A minus 1, and the current having a dimension of A. So the final form is M1 L2 T minus 3 A minus 2. Okay, this is the all thing about the electrical resistance. So we have done very important terms and the dimension of the terms. So now let's talk about some dimension of constants. Dimension of the some constants, like if I talk about refractive index. Refractive index, you know that the refractive index is the speed of light in a vacuum upon speed of light in a medium. So you know that this is the speed, so the dimension is cancel out to each other, because you know that the speed having the length upon time, they cancel out each other, and this one becomes dimensionless. This one becomes dimensionless. यहाँ पे dimensionless है यहाँ पे. Now next one, 28th is a very important term that is known as a Planck constant. You have to remember this dimension, because this is a very important exam point of view. Planck constant is determined that E, we know that E is equal to h mu. Here h is a Planck constant, so it means h is equal to E upon mu. Mu is a frequency. So the formula is that electric potential is, or the energy is mL2 T minus 2, and the frequency having the dimension of T minus 1. So the final form of the Planck constant is m1 L2 T minus 1. This is the dimension of Planck constant. So this is all regarding to the most important terms of the physics which having the dimensions. Now let's move forward in the next topic. Our next topic is related to the principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity, this is the dimension of each term. We know that the dimension of each term of an equation must be same. This is the known as the homogeneity. Okay, we can also say that if we add or subtract similar physical quantity, we can only add or subtract similar physical quantity. Okay, so let's take understand with the example. You have to find the dimension. Find the dimension of A and B for the function v is equal to a plus bt. The velocity is equal to a plus bt. You have to find the dimension of A and B. Now we know that if you note down as a v minus a minus bt is equal to 0, so it means that the A having the same dimension as velocity and B having the same dimension as velocity. So it's mean the terms related to the velocity. Let's compare the terms with the velocity. If we compare v is equal to a, now we know that the dimension of v is equal to lt minus 1. So it's mean the dimension of a is equal to lt minus 1. Now the second term bt, compare the bt with the velocity. So it's mean b is equal to कितना हो जाएगा, that we know that this is lt minus 1 and time having a dimension of t. So it's mean the dimension of b is equal to L t minus 2. This is your final answer for the dimension of b. Have you understand the point? I think this is a very easy thing. Let's understand with one more example. You have to find the dimension of a, b, c, d and e. You have to find the dimension, okay? And the function is x is equal to, x is determined as the position. So x is equal to the a plus bt plus ct square plus dt cube upon e plus d. So it's mean if you compare the things or compare the terms with principle of homogeneity method, then we can understand that position is related to the a, that the position is related to bt, that the same position is related to ct square, and that the same position is related to the this function. So we know that like position is dimension of length, position having the dimension of length. So the length L is equal to a, so the dimension of a is equal to L. Now bt is equal to L, so it's mean b is equal to L t minus 1. Okay, now the third term ct square is equal to L, so it means c having the dimension of L t minus 2. Okay, now the next term is a dt cube. Now this is a very important form. We know that dt cube upon e plus t is equal to L. Now we know that the e having the same dimension of time, so it's mean that dt cube upon t is equal to L. So it's mean d having the dimension of L t minus 2. This is your final answer of d. Now what about t? E is the dimension of t. E is the dimension of t. So this is all about the dimension. This is the similar physical quantity having the same dimensions. Okay, it is clear. Now let's talk about some application of dimension analysis. The next one is a applications of dimension analysis. Look, the first application is it is used to convert the units from first part to second part. Okay, the first is the conversion of unit. Conversion of units. Like you can change the units. Like if a unit having a MKS unit, you can change in a CGS. You can change in a CGS. Okay. Also you can change a MKS unit into a SI unit. So this is the method we can change the units by the application of dimension analysis. Now let's talk about how can we change the units. You know that any physical quantity having form of numerical into units. So it's mean the first unit having n1 u1 and you want to change another one, so the another one is having the units in form of n2 u2. Like let's talk about let's take one example. I wrote 1 meter. So you know this is a numerical value and this is a unit. You want to change in another dimension, like you want to change in a CGS form, so you can write as a 100 centimeter. So n2 is 100 and u2 is equal to centimeter. So you can easily change anything from 1 to second. Let's take an example and understand with this example. You have to convert 1 Newton to dyne form. How can you convert? You know that the Newton is a SI unit and the dyne is a CGS unit. Okay. Now how can you convert? You know that 1 Newton is equal to kg per meter per second square. Okay. and dyne is equal to gram into centimeter per second square. So you know that the force having dimension of mlt minus 2, okay, m1 l1 t minus 2. Now let's differentiate both of the physical quantity with the table form. We know that here n1 is equal to 1, m1 is equal to in the form of kg, L1 is in the form of meter, and T1 is in the form of second. And here in the dyne form, N2 is not given. You have to find the N2. But another term like M2 given है. M2 कितना given है? M2 is given in the form of gram, L2 given in the form of centimeter, and time T2 is the form of second. Now let's compare both the things with the formula N1 U1 T minus 2 form. Okay, so we know that N1 U1 is equal to N2 U2. N1 is U and unit in the form of M1 L1 T1 minus 2 is equal to N2. We don't know, but the unit of the second dyne form is equal to M2 L2 T minus 2. Now compare both the things. M, if you subtract this number, like I just pick question mark as a N2. The N2 is equal to M1 L1 T1 minus 2 upon M2 L2 T2 minus 2. Okay, now change in the particular form like this one, M1 upon M2 the power 1, L1 upon L2 the power 1, and T1 upon T2 that power minus 2. Okay, and this is the N2. Now convert the values in a respective form. We know that M1 having a kg, okay, and M2 in the form of gram, length in form of meter, L2 is the form of centimeter, and this one both are in the same dimension second, the minus 2. Now we know this is the cancel out. But if you want to compare these things, then you have to convert kg in a gram. You know that this is a 1000 gram upon gram. You know that 100 centimeter is a 1 meter, so this is the form of centimeter. So gram to gram cancel out, centimeter to centimeter cancel out. Okay, so the final N2 is equal to 10 raised to the power 5. So it's mean you can easily understand that 1 Newton is equal to how many dyne? 10 to the power 5 dyne. Okay, so this is the first application based on the dimension analysis. Have you got this point? I think you easily understand these things. So you can easily convert all the terms in a respective form like SI to CGS unit and CGS to SI unit. Okay. Now the next application we will discuss in the next class. It's all about for today's class. I think you easily understand all these scenarios. Okay, beta. Have a good day. Keep practice.